are the holds that work against the best wrestlers. That's it. That's the definition. That's the simple force behind what we do. We want to know the best wrestling, and we want our wrestlers to have the best wrestling. We're not aiming to beat the JV guy. We're not aiming to beat, the average guy walking down the gym in the mat. We want to beat the best guys. And so, we spend our whole life figuring out, finding, studying, following, working with people, having them tell us what they do. And who it is we're following are the best wrestlers. I've been to the NCAA tournament every year since 1964. I've been to the Worlds, been to the Olympics, Olympic trials, World Cup. We go to everything. And we go to them, and then we latch on to the good wrestling. For example, let me just give you an example so you can understand it. Multiply times 1,000. We go to the NCAA tournament when I was a young high school boy. My coach took me. In the NCAA tournament, they have a big workout room like this that everybody works out in those days. Now it's all isolated, and the colleges have a private entrance. You can't get in there to see them. I get in there and see them. You can't. Nobody can come in and watch the college guys work out. But there's always a place where everybody works out. Open guys, the guys trying for the Olympic team, NCAA guys. When I was growing up for like 30 years or so, there was always an open big workout place. We would get up early in the morning and go to that place. And there'd be 60, 80, 70 people in there wrestling, working out, helping people. They were the greatest wrestlers in America. And so we would stay in that gym until 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock when the session started, and then we'd go watch the NCAA tournament. Well, while we're in there, we would walk up to somebody. Let's say that last year you won the NCAA title. You had the best single of anyone in America. Everyone knows that you do. We would walk right up to you and say, we'd say that you got the greatest single. Would you? I'm a high school coach down in Virginia. Would you show me your single? And you'd hop right up and say, yeah, and you start showing the single. And then I'd have my high school boy with me, and I said, well, we'll show him how to do it so he can do it right. And then you would help me teach my guy how to do your single. And so I would have my guy, I wouldn't have to write it down and film it. You didn't have film, you didn't have cameras. And so we would do that, and then I'd know your single. And you had the best single in America. No one else in the gym knew your single, but I knew your single. And then there'd be another guy that had this hold or that hold. We knew who they were because we'd been coming to all the tournaments, and we read all this. We knew who they were. In fact, we had an idea how they did their stuff. We just couldn't quite master it. So you multiply that times like 30 or 40 people at that tournament that weekend that we got all this stuff from. Then we go home, and on Monday the whole team shows up. We got a workout. I'm teaching my whole team. My whole team is learning what you did. And if you had the best, fireman's carry, learning what you did. And so within a week's time, my team, or when I was at Granby, the team I was on, we had all the holds that you could name all the NCAA champions. We knew their names, and we knew their holds, and we could do them, and we could do them on everybody in our state. And no one in our state even knew what the hold was. And so that's all we did. I mean, I say all we did. Constantly we did that. We went to everybody that had the best holds. Well, now, you don't have to go anywhere. It's on Flow. It's on any place you can find video, or you can film them, and you can have it. So when cameras and films and stuff came in, we really went crazy. Then we would film the Olympics. We would film the NCAA tournament. We would film the Big Ten. We paid people. We hired somebody to fly to Moscow or to fly to wherever and film the Olympics because we couldn't go. We're busy running camps. But the general point is this. We sought the best wrestling. We got the best wrestling. We learned the best wrestling. We taught our guys. So they were doing the exact same holds that the best national champion was doing. They looked like them. They looked like the wrestler. The Olympic champions, the Russians, the Iranians, the Americans. We knew all their names. We could do all their holds. We studied wrestling and figured out what was the best. That's what you're going to get from me right now. I have an edit of the. You're going to be able to get a DVD player and a TV. Yep. Yeah. I have a DVD that shows edits of the NCAA tournament of this year. You're going to see them doing the holes that I'm teaching you. In fact, I taught some of them how to do the hole. So that's one thing. Know the best hole. Now there's a lot to it. A lot more to it than even I just said. The second thing is this. If you know something in your mind, in your head, in your brain, you just know it. It's okay, you know it. But if I know a hole and I can't teach it to the people that I want to teach it to, it's just some knowledge up in my head. It's worthless. Well, to me, I like it, but it doesn't help you if I can't teach you. And so we spend as much time in our whole entire lifetime figuring out how to teach the whole, breaking it down, putting it in precision and exactly the right spot and telling you how to do it so it actually will work and function. And then creating a little system and a plan to teach around it so you can have holes that relate to each other and you go from hole to hole to hole to hole. It's a whole way of thinking and a dynamic of drilling that creates a person that can do advanced wrestling. All of you guys are going to be doing advanced wrestling, way advanced. We're not. We're going to be doing it in the next 30 minutes. And so the big thing then is to know how to teach what it is you know. And that's the two things that drove us to Granby. We weren't driven to have state titles or national champions. I'm not saying we didn't want to do that. We did. But we were more driven about the wrestling that would help produce that. We still are. And so that's why, a couple of high school coaches from Virginia have thousands of people every summer want to come to their camps and see what they do and teach how to wrestle. And it's because we know how to wrestle. We know what we're doing. We figure out how to teach it and make people do it. So anyhow, that's what we're going to do. So coaches, keep your eyes out for a lot of things. The other thing that's going to happen is the verbal dynamic of the coaching throughout the sessions is going to be part of that whole teaching scheme. Telling them where to move, or how to push, or how to step, or where exactly the precision of what to do. It's going to be very precise, very precision oriented. But it's going to be fast, interesting. A lot of it's fun. Of course, wrestling's hard work, so we'll be working hard. So you'll see. One other comment, coaches. This is what happens when you teach like that. Your wrestlers become like you. They can think like you can. You just have to train them or give them the opportunity to have them do that. And they can think smart. And they can wrestle smart, meaning what seems like complicated at first is not so complicated. We'll make it work. And we'll have a plan to make it work. And the wrestlers will buy. Now, they won't buy into it. They will do it because it works. And when they do, they'll be thinking like you. Then they'll teach you something. I'll be learning something from one of these boys here. I'll be learning something from these coaches. Well, I'll be learning because my mind's open. I didn't do it, but I will. All right, we're ready to go. Up on your feet. God can act and get started right now.